Hey folks, welcome to part 2 of Candace Owens Pushing Drugs, or whatever I decided to name it. I do want to thank you again for choosing to spend your time with me. I know this sounds gushy to some of you, and if I keep saying this every single video, it's going to start sounding super rehearsed. But I would rather thank you for choosing to spend your time with me on every video than to treat you like an idiot and make the required, quote, call to action by telling you, hey, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit that bell, make a comment. I don't need to babysit you that way. So let's go ahead and get started with part 2. The link of the archived article will be in the description, and if you haven't watched part 1, the link is also in the description. I suggest you go watch that before you watch this one. Not a call to action, just a suggestion. All right, so with all that said, let's go ahead and jump in. Just for a quick recap, back in September of 2015, Candace Owens wrote about scoring Adderall and Xanax. She literally advised others on how to score the very same. Now again, 2015 may sound like a long time ago, but it is literally just 3 years and a few months and change. Not that long. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Candace is a gift that just keeps on giving.
Getting prescribed Xanax. So easy, a caveman can do it. By Candace Owens, September 19th, 2015.
So just to start off, we can assume that Candace thinks cave women are smarter than cavemen, or at least she thinks she's smarter than a caveman.
Okay, so now that we've squared away the oh-so-twisted but true Collegewood life story of how I managed to score an Adderall prescription without so much as a diagnosis, hell, without even a damn doctor's visit, really.
Oh, now come on. In part 1, we did cover, in fact, that you had a doctor's visit. Why are you still trying to con people? This is only a few days ago that you wrote part 1. What's wrong with you, girl?
Let's switch gears and seriously discuss the implications. Foremost, let me just clarify that the story and the way I presented it is entirely true. Indeed, it was actually that easy for me to legally get my hands on an amphetamine-loaded, psychostimulating, presumably controlled substance that is used to treat narcolepsy. And my only known symptoms were 3 too many papers I had to write that weekend.
Candace, really? Come on, girl. You're really going to blame the doctor, the nurse, the system for giving you this prescription legally when you were the one lying the entire time?
It gets weirder. That very same year, my boyfriend from high school and I broke up.
Is that the same boyfriend who freaked out when in high school he was told you had herpes? Why didn't he break up with you before then? And if it's not the same boyfriend, then how many boyfriends did you have during your senior year?
When I was in high school, the guy I was dating had a girl in his class, or a girl that he had gone to, I think, middle school with, that worked at my gynecology office. She was just kind of like the girl behind the desk. And I guess maybe she saw a file pass that had my name on it. And, you know, kids like drama, so when you see someone's name, you're like, oh, I know she goes to this gynecologist. So she told my boyfriend that I had herpes. And he believed it, and he freaked out, and it was like the most insane thing that I've ever heard in my entire life. And that's like a terrible thing for like an 18-year-old to have to go through, like explaining to your boyfriend that you don't have herpes. But yeah, that was kind of the craziest thing I've ever heard about myself.
Wait, so this is the craziest thing that happened to you during your senior year, not the alleged hate crimes where boys called you on a phone that was blocked with the number, but y'all figured out who the boys were, even though you'd never met any of them except for the one who was a friend, and they were threatening to tar and feather you and shoot you in the back of the head like they did Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, right? Come on, Candace. You can't even keep your own life straight.
I was 18 years old and positively devastated. It tore me apart in a way that only a high school first love can really shred a person.
Honestly, I cannot be the only one here smelling the bullshit.
I cried, then I cried some more, and God damn it, I just couldn't stop crying, and so my doctor, after approximately 47 seconds of hearing about my wounded teenage soul, made the oh so necessary decision to prescribe me Xanax.
Well, considering how you present how you got Adderall, I am not going to believe that you got Xanax based off of a crying episode of 45 seconds long. I'm smelling bullshit. You're a con artist, Candace. Let me go back to the name that I originally gave you. Con docs. 'Cause that's what you are. You're a con artist and you like to dox people. You have no problem with it.
I mean, how else was I to cope with such an unspeakable loss?
Oh my, how she steps into victimhood, even though while she's preaching to other folks, she will tell you how she's never understood how anyone would want to be a victim. Oh, the irony is palpable.
Thanks, Doc. Prescription in hand, I fled back to my pathetic excuse of a freshman year dorm room and was ready to pop my first magic pill.
Wait, now I am confused. I thought the Adderall was your first magic pill. Did you tell your story out of sequence just to confuse us even more?
But just as I began to fumble with the bottle, hold down, twist, squeeze to open, what the fuck, man? Does this come with a locksmith?
I've known second graders who can open a bottle. Chick, if you've gotten yourself into college, congratulations, you fooled a bunch of people since you don't know how to open a safety cap. Bravo.
A friend of mine, Zoe, asked me a very important question that would forever change the course of my relationship with medicine.
This conversation with Zoe suddenly changed your mind about taking drugs? This is still your freshman year, and in part 1, you testified you would go get Adderall prescriptions throughout the rest of your college career. Your 2 articles are less than a week apart, and you still can't keep your story straight. Those fooled by your cons should be embarrassed to be taken in by someone who is such a terrible liar.
She asked, "Why are you going to take that pill?"
Get ready, folks. Here comes the judgment upon you.
To which I replied with a whiny common sense, "I'm literally depressed. I can't stop crying." But she was on an investigative warpath and pressed me for more answers with a, "But why are you crying?" And I, willing to play detective obvious, stated, "Because Sean and I broke up, of course." It was then that she let me in on this miraculous life hack. If you can identify why you are crying, you do not need a pill. In fact, you probably aren't even depressed. You're probably just sad. You're likely just experiencing human emotion.
Great, Candace. So why did you tell us in part 1 how you kept on taking Adderall and going after the doctors and the nurses to get that Adderall throughout the rest of your college career if someone had given you this, quote, life hack?
Fuck, there it was, folks. A dose of good old-fashioned and at times overwhelming human emotion and feeling. Something that we have been conditioned to think is abstract, foreign, absurd even.
Okay, folks, I really can't keep going point by point. This cold is really hammering me down. So what I'm going to do now is, again, thank you for choosing to spend your time with me. I really appreciate it. I have more videos coming out exposing Candace for who she really is, or who she's really not. Either way, it's the same. And I have other videos also coming out, so please stay tuned. And I'm going to roll right into my final thoughts. So here we go, and thank you again. Mwah. Love you. Bye. What a con artist you are! You've had years practicing conning people. No wonder you're so good at it. No wonder why the majority of the Republican Party is knelt down in front of you, sucking on your toes. But don't be fooled, Bay. There are many of us out here who know you for who you really are, who know of the con jobs you are committing, who know that you are just another opportunist and faux-servative. Hell, you ain't even an independent. You're just a leftist in a better man's clothing.